Good morning, my seekers of tarot treasure, and welcome to the new style reading on my channel. Today is the new moon in Aries. It's the beginning of the astrological year. New moons are new beginnings, so I'm starting a new type of reading. On every new moon and every full moon, I will be doing a detailed reading rather than the rather hurried card of a day that I was doing before. You can pick a pile, and today your reading will be about what new beginnings are in store for you. You will choose a pile with the element water, with the element fire, with the element feather, and the element earth. The earth element that we are using is the beautiful laboradite stone. It is a stone of transformation. It is a stone that calls one to action, which is a perfect stone for a new moon in Aries. So I'm going to give you a few minutes, a few seconds to choose your pile. Do you want the water element, fire, air, or earth? If you are called to more than one pile, trust your intuition. But do remember that this is a general reading, so not everything that comes through may resonate with you. It's important for you to take what you can from the reading and let go that which you feel is not for you at this time. So, water, fire, air, and earth. Let us start with earth. I just want to move these readings, these piles out of the way until it's their turn. And we will start with the earth reading. So, we start with a message from the angel. Adventure. Instead of seeing the current situation as an obstacle, try seeing it as an adventure. Explore the possibilities. There are many more than you currently imagine. Instead of seeing things as either black or white, try to explore all the colors in between. So, for earth element, which is quite a stable, grounded element, going on a grand adventure may be quite challenging. So let's dig a little bit deeper into your reading. Let's turn over all the cards and then we will read. Cardinal Moon. So there you can see it nicely. Be bold and make the first move. Inner Voice. This is your tarot reading. This is your tarot cards. Call to ego, call of the ego, call of the soul, and the bridge between the two. And we will leave this last card over here, which is a timing card. It will give you the timing for whatever new adventure you are going to go on. So, let's just look at your cards. So this is all about this new moon in particular, pile number 1, the earth pile. This new moon is all about being bold and moving forward in a new direction. Those dreams that you've been putting on the back burner, those whispers in your soul, this is your inner voice. This is the high priestess telling you to trust your intuition. Listen to that inner voice. Take that bold step and make the first move towards the adventure that your soul has been longing for. The trouble that may be blocking you, what you see as the obstacle rather than as the adventure, may be that your ego is feeling very insecure. This is the base chakra card. The base chakra is what grounds you to the earth, which of course is very appropriate for the earth pile. But this card normally shows up when you're feeling insecure, you're feeling financial insecurity, you're feeling emotional insecurity, you may be feeling very unsafe in the world. And when we feel unsafe, we're not feeling very brave. And what this card is saying is trust that little voice that says you will be safe. You can go and have an adventure, even if you're not feeling brave now. Real courage is not being a brave hero and making a grand stand. Real courage is that little voice inside you which says, come on, try again, start again tomorrow. Sometimes for some people at some point in their lives, just taking a step outside their door may be an extremely grand adventure. For somebody who's quite shy, going up and saying hello to a stranger may be a grand adventure. And that is what this card, the ego, is preventing you. The ego that is filled with fear, the ego that is feeling unsafe in this world, the ego that is feeling not grounded, is preventing you from taking those small steps that will eventually lead to bigger steps and grander adventures. And how do we move away from the scared little ego that is keeping us trapped in fear and feelings of insecurity? We make wise choices. The Spirit, this ties in very nicely with this High Priestess card, which is all about our inner voice. And we'll be surprised, no matter how scared we are, somewhere deep inside us, if we listen closely enough, we will be able to make the right choice that leads us away from our fear and into the realm of wisdom. Choices that give us strength, choices that allow us to make that first move, to move out of this situation where we feel stuck and afraid and not able to move forward. And, we feel that we can't live our life as fully as we want to. And yet, if we make right choices, step by step, we will eventually get to our power. And this is not power over others. This is the power over the self that allows us to make wise choices, that helps us to move away from our fears and our insecurities that are keeping us stuck. So Earth Power, remember, life is a grand adventure. This new moon in Aries today is a great day to be bold and to make the first move, listening to your inner voice, which will allow you to choose wisely and move away from the fears and insecurities that are keeping you stuck. And the bridge between the two will allow you to step into your power. And if you wonder when you should begin this new adventure or when you should make this new start, let us see, within the next few weeks. So don't hang around. This is the time. We're coming up to the eclipse season, and the eclipse season is always a time for things to change around. So within the next few weeks, make some small choice that allows you to become unstuck and move away from whatever is currently keeping you frail, fearful, and stuck. Earth Pal, that is your reading for today, for the new moon. I wish you many blessings, and be safe, be true, and be brave. Air Pal, those of you who chose the feather, because of course the birds fly through the air with the greatest of ease. We will put our feather there. Let us see what this new moon has in store for you. It's a bright new moon in Aries. There is a lot of healing because Chiron is involved. And the message from the angels for you, air pal, is integrity. Be flexible, but also be true to you. Stand by your beliefs and values, and others will stand by and believe in you. So let's dig a little deeper and see what the message of integrity involves. Yeah. So that is the moon card, full moon in Sagittarius. That is the major arcana card. Here we look at the call of the ego, the call of the soul, and the bridge between the two. This card is a timing card, so we will look at that after we've looked at your reading in a little bit more depth. So, integrity. Let's just put all of these together and see. All right, so sometimes, if we're not looking at the bigger picture, we perhaps step out of our integrity. We move away from doing what is right for us because we are perhaps trying to be liked, we're trying to be loved, we're trying to keep other people happy. But in doing that, we move away from our integrity. And I think the message of this new moon, which is a time to start new behaviors, the message here is saying every time you step out of your integrity, you need to look at the bigger picture. What are you achieving by not being true to your own values, your own beliefs, your own emotions, your own ideas? If you can take a step back when you feel yourself going off center, take a step back and look long term. If you say yes now, how will you feel in a month's time? If you do what this person says you must, how will you feel in a year's time? What the message that is coming through here, especially with this card, aloneness, the Hermit card, which is all about self-sufficiency. It is about being able to be your own inner light. And that, I think, is very important with integrity. Because if we look to outside ourselves for what is right and wrong for us and for those we love and for the greater good of what we are responsible for, we are not going to be able to make the right decisions. And I think the new beginning here must be for you to understand that every time you make a decision based on the moment and trying to please somebody or make somebody else happy, you are stepping away from that inner integrity, that self-sufficiency, that ability to be your own light, your own guide, your own wisdom. And it's very important that sometimes in new beginnings, this is the Fool card. We sometimes, the light is shining a bit brightly on the cards. This is the Fool card. Sometimes we rush in. We're so excited, we want to just leap off the cliff, but we need to understand that that is not always the best thing for our higher self. Sometimes we need to understand that a decision that is made in haste will take us away from our personal integrity. It will take us far away from our personal beliefs and from our personal values. And if we don't take that step back and look at the bigger picture and dig deep within ourselves for our own inner wisdom, the new beginnings may lead us down paths that we don't want to go. And while our ego is urging us down this new path to leap off that cliff, even if it does take us away from our integrity and from our inner values and our inner sense of what's right and wrong, our soul is telling us, remember that as you sow, you shall reap. And that's why it's so important to take the step back and look at the bigger picture, air. And of course, being an air pal, air is very fluid. It chops and changes. 1 minute the breeze can come from this way, 1 minute the breeze can come from that way. And what the soul is saying to you, the message that the soul is bringing, is that every choice we make, if we step away from our integrity, there are consequences to every choice made in the present moment, even if those consequences come further down the line. So the key thing to remember when the ego is urging us to take a path that is not in alignment with who we really are, we need to remember that the harvest that we want to reap is the beautiful harvest of abundance, of love, of strength. And it is for that reason that we need to make sure that we listen to our inner wisdom. And what is the bridge between the ego and the soul? So the ego is pulling us away from our integrity. The soul is telling us, it's reminding us that we will harvest and reap the consequences of whatever choices we make now. And the bridge between the two is wisdom, which ties in very nicely with the Hermit card, which suggests that we look inward for our light. So the message at this new moon for you, Air Pal, is, yes, be excited about new beginnings. Look for new beginnings. Embrace new beginnings. But always remember to carefully dig into your inner wisdom to see and to make sure that that new beginning is in alignment with your true values and your true beliefs and where you want to go. If you have a timing question, if you are wrestling with a question about when to start something, when to stop something, when to do something, this is a timing answer, a timing card, and it says a year from now will be a good time for whatever new beginning you are contemplating right now. So, Air Pal, I wish you good decisions. I wish you an abundant harvest. Be safe, be true, and be well. Hello, Fire Pal. You have chosen the element fire. Let us see what the angel message at this new moon in Aries is for you. Imagine. Clearly visualize the life you want. Feel it in your heart and soul, and so it will come to be. And that is a beautiful message from the angels for a fire element, because of course fire is all about creativity, it is all about initiative, it's all about going out there and making things happen with a deep passion. Let us look at your cards, and then we will dig deeper into your reading. It is a time to take action. New moon in Aries. Wow. The time is now, Fire Pal. Your major arcana, innocence. Oh, that's a beautiful card. Let's have a look at the call of the ego, the call of the soul, and the bridge between the two. This card we will pick up, we will open at the end of the reading, because this will give you some idea of the timing as to the new beginnings that we are looking at in this reading. So, what are you imagining, Fire Pal? What are you thinking about? Whatever you are imagining, it's time to take action. And it's very interesting because today is the new moon in Aries, and the moon card that you've got is the new moon in Aries. So I think that is a good sign saying that whatever you're imagining, now is the time to manifest it. Now is the time to start that project. And this innocence card, the major arcana card, which is one of my favorite in the Osho Zen Tarot, reminds me reminds us rather, that whatever project we must start, no matter how many times we've started projects before, perhaps they failed, perhaps they haven't worked out quite how we want to, the key thing to remember is to approach this project, to approach this new beginning with the innocence of a child, but the wisdom of an old man. You can see in this card how this old man is wrinkled through experience. His hair is grey with sorrow, and yet he is exploring the world of the praying mantis through the innocent eyes of the child and finding great joy in it. And that is part of what our imagination helps us do. It allows us to forget the sorrows and the heartache and the loss, and to look at things with the eyes of a child, but not in a childish way, because it is the wisdom of old age, but it is with the innocence of a child. So it's important as you approach this new beginning, firepower, to bring to the table the innocence of a child, but the wisdom of our souls. But what is our ego wanting from us at this new beginning, firepower? It is wanting the fulfillment of wishes. There is a need in here. There is a drive in this new beginning. I want X, Y, and Z. I want to be a famous author, or I want to be well known, or I want to win this prize, or I want to have R1 million or dollars in the bank. That is what the ego is saying about this new beginning that you are imagining. It is wanting the fulfillment of all your earthly wishes, because the ego is about the world we live in, the real world, the materialistic world. And this is a warning, I think, that try not to approach this project, this new beginning, whatever the new beginning is, whether it is a work project, whether it is a career project, whether it is simply the reimagining and recreation of yourself and who you are as an individual. Try not to approach it from a materialistic rewards perspective. We need to look at the soul and the bridge to find a way to make this project burn like a wildfire beyond your biggest dreams and hopes. So the ego is driving you with a simple materialistic desire to have your wishes fulfilled. But there is more to this new moon than that. And underneath, the soul is suffering from heartache and loss. And this suggests to me, firepower, that perhaps in the past, the projects that you have started have not worked out so well. Your wishes have not been fulfilled. All the energy, all the fire, all the passion that you put into your projects, whether it was a romantic relationship, whether it was a work or a family issue, all the passion and fire that you put into your new beginnings did not work out. And there is a deep sense of heartache and loss. And I'm so sorry for that, firepower, because the last thing that I would want is for your passion to be burnt out with sorrow, for your passion to be dampened by tears. And the soul is saying, yes, I've been hurt, I've suffered losses, but there is a way to meet the fulfillment of my needs, and that is to trust in destiny. This is a destiny card. This is a card that says, have faith in the choices you make, trust in your imagined vision, take the action that you need to, but approach this project with the innocence of a child starting out on a new adventure. But underneath that childish innocence, that childish joy, that childish passion, which has not yet been singed with sorrow or heartache or loss or failure, there is this wisdom that knows that there is a greater plan meant for you. And what is required of you now, firepower, is to just take that leap and trust that this is a path that you are meant to walk. When must you start walking this path? Let us see what the angel timing card says. Wow, look at that. The new moon in Aries is today. You drew the new moon in Aries, which says it's time to take action. And the angel card says, take action. So, Fire Pal, there is nothing more to be said. It is the time for you to put that imagining into action. Start working on your dreams. Bring in innocence and wisdom. Learn from your heartache and sorrow. Understand that the fulfillment of your wishes is a path of destiny. Start walking on that path as soon as you can. I wish you a safe journey. I wish you good luck. And I wish you many, many blessings. Stay well, Fire Pal, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, Water Pal. You have chosen the water element. And let us see what the new moon in Aries is bringing to you today. The angel message that opens your reading, Water Pal, is trust. All will work out well. We, your angels and guides, are here to nurture, protect, and heal you. Trust in the healing power of our love. We love you more than you will ever know. And that is a beautiful way to start the reading. Now, water signs, the water pile, the water element, of course, is all about emotions. It is the element of water, which is connected to our emotions and how we feel. So trust may be difficult if we are feeling emotional. Let us dig deeper and see what the rest of your reading is today. So the moon card is new moon in Taurus. Prosperity lies ahead. The major arcana is creativity. It is the Empress card. It is the card of abundance, of sharing, of birthing new ideals, of birthing new visions, of being so comfortable and happy and abundant with love and material satisfaction that there is no end to the compassion and capacity for sharing that this water pile has. What a beautiful energy. Let us see what the ego is calling us to do at this new beginning, what the soul is calling us to do at the new beginning, and the bridge between the two. This card, let me move the fire pile out the way. This card is the timing card, and it will give us, water pile, some idea of when we need to make the new beginnings that this new moon in Aries is calling us to. So let's look at your reading. So the message from the angels is trust, and it's all about trusting in what is happening in your life at the moment. And the message here, the promise here, is that prosperity lies ahead. And of course, it's not only physical or material prosperity. Prosperity can mean a romantic connection. It can mean just learning to kick back and relax and enjoy life more. Taurus is a very sensuous sign. It enjoys the good things of life. It has the capacity to just sit and be. Think of the bull chewing grass in the field. It is a perfectly happy creature as long as it has the sun on its back, some grass to eat, some lady cows around. And that is perhaps the meaning of prosperity. And I think I'm just getting a little messages coming through here about the sacrifice card, which is the bridge between the ego and the soul. This is all about new perspectives. It's about sacrificing something. So perhaps the message in this moon card is that we need you, water power, need to think about how do you actually define prosperity? What does prosperity mean to you? And perhaps you've been chasing the wrong kind of prosperity. And this new moon in Aries, which is today, is a time for you to start thinking in new ways about how you view prosperity. I spoke earlier about this creativity card being the Empress. And the Empress is an extremely abundant card. She has an immense amount of love and compassion. She has a huge amount of creativity. And of course, I talk about she because this is a feminine card. But whether you are male and female listening to this reading, we all carry the Empress within us. We all have that capacity for deep compassion, for intense creativity, for the ability to manifest what we want in life through our creative insight. We just need to trust that we can do it and that we have enough, that we are abundant enough within ourselves to be able to share what we have with others. Now, what is the ego? The ego is perhaps for you, water pal, longing for some kind of forward movement. That may be a bit challenging because Taurus doesn't like change. The bull is steady, he's stable, he doesn't like to be bothered, he just wants to carry on chewing the cud. And yet the ego, there may be a call in you, a drive in you that you want to initiate change, you want to make some sort of positive move forward. But the soul card is saying that this is perhaps not the time for moving forward. Prosperity lies ahead, but perhaps now is a time to rest, rejuvenate. And coming back to this card, the sacrifice card, which is the Hanged Man, which is all about having to sacrifice certain ideals, certain beliefs, certain ideas, and to gain a new perspective. Perhaps, although your ego wants to move forward, it wants things to change, it wants some sort of positive movement to show that you are going to be prosperous and have this abundance that you can share with everybody. First of all, I think there is the need to reassess and revalue what you consider prosperity. But there is also the need to understand that now may not be the time. Although your ego is desperately crying out for some sort of movement, your soul is saying now is a time of stillness, of quietness, of resting and rejuvenating. And perhaps you need to look at your situation, whatever you are that you're longing for a new beginning in, reassess that situation and think that perhaps now is not the time to move forward. You will need to perhaps rather embrace the need for stillness, for quietness, so that you can rest and rejuvenate. And when the time is right, when the prosperity is coming, trotting over the hill, you will then be able to have the inner strength and be able to move forward. So water pile, you are being called on to trust that what you are feeling is not so much a sense of stuckness as it is a period of rest and rejuvenation. And just believe and trust and have faith that the forward movement, the positive movement forward, will come when the time is right. Let us see. This is an angel timing card. Let us have a look when the positive movement will perhaps come for you within the next few months. So that is not such a long time to wait. Take the next few months, just kick back, stop worrying, just allow yourself to rest. The time will come for movement. There is a time for everything. And your time now, water pile, is to trust that now you need to rest. And in a few months, you will be getting ready to move forward in an extremely positive way. Water Power, that is your reading for the day, for this new moon in Aries. I wish you peace, I wish you quiet, and I wish you the blessings of a soul that has been rested and rejuvenated. Take care, and I will see you at the full moon.